Hello, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts, and this is going to bother me. Just seeing that. Hey, there, there, better. Still messy, but less messy. Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts, yes. Distracted, rabbit trails, yes, that's me. It's Tuesday, and I had a project finished before 9 o'clock this morning. I'm doing well. To be honest with you, I had a game on my tablet that I was spending far too much time playing. I deleted it, and I'm being far more productive since getting rid of that game. It was one of these things where the My Points program sent me an email saying, if you download this game and you get up to level such and such, we'll give you points. Well, I got to level 100 and got the points. If you get to level 250, we'll give you some more points. So I got up to 200. If you get up to 500, I kept going. I got up to level 1,200. But it was at the point where I was just like, oh, I can't beat this level. I'm out of lives. Half hour later, ooh, I have another life. Let's try again. So, no, I need to get rid of this. No more points. Just get rid of it and get my time back. So, I'm back on track, getting stuff done. So, I wanted to start out this video with 5 reasons why I really love my yarn winder. There's my yarn winder. Now, but then I turned to 6. Apparently I can't count to 5. I have been knitting and crocheting since 6th grade, which was back in the 70s, the early 70s. So you can do the math. It's been 50 years. I have accumulated yarn and tools and patterns and everything over the years. Probably about, let's see, Mandy is about 25 years ago, we got a new music pastor at our church, and he knit. And, he and I sort of clicked over yarn and patterns and all this. We were always talking about yarn, but he was a high-end yarn person. Like when he made blankets, he made them out of cotton yarn. So they were very heavy, but very warm in the winter and cool in the summer. He would make sweaters from high-end wool, stuff like that. So when he moved, he gave me boxes of his acrylic yarn that he used. Like, nope, I'm not going to use this. Here, you can take it. But he was always telling me, you need to get a yarn winder. Nah. You need to get a yarn winder. You're going to love it. Nah. Just wind the ball into, just wind it into a ball. No problem. Well, let's see. It would be back about 10 years ago. I was given a $25 gift card to Joann's for Christmas. And Joann's had a 50% off any item coupon. So between the two, I got a yarn winder for next to nothing. I think I just paid for like $5. I love it. I'm like, why didn't I get one sooner? Why didn't I actually listen to him? So, 5 reasons why I love my yarn winder. Number 1 is, when you're working with yarn and the skein gets all floppy and then it starts tangling easily, you can take these floppy cakes and transform them into a nice, neat cake. So just instead of having this lying around, you have this little thing about this big that you can fit into a box easier. Because I have a scrap yarn box next to my chair, so things that fit in neatly, that's good. The second thing is that they're stackable. Why do you need to stack your yarn? In case you want to take a picture of it. This is my yarn for the Mystery Yarn Challenge scrap portion. And if I had just put balls of yarn in there, they'd be rolling all over the light box. But you can stack up your nice little cakes for photo ops. Another part is you can work from both ends very easily. You can, oops, if I could find it, you can pull from the center and the outside at the same time on the same cake. This yarn is like a sport weight, but I was using it last night, pulling from the outside and the center to make a project with worsted weight yarn so that they were like equivalent. Or if I had a little cake of yarn and I was making stripes on a project, I could pull from both sides and like do a row on this leg, a row on that leg, a row on this leg, a row of that leg, and use up the yarn, get the most out of each stripe. Instead of like doing 10 rows with the yarn and then you go to the other side and you could only do 9 and you've run out of yarn. It's better that way. Another thing about it is I got my yarn spinner from Temu. Yeah, you can get a skein of yarn on there. But these little cakes, they go on really easy. Like if you've got, okay, we're back in business. I was going to show you how, when you've got a big skein like this, sometimes it's a little harder to get it onto the spinner, and because it's sort of bunched up, it doesn't flow as freely. So I like using my little spinner. I got it up on the shelf next to my chair, and I could just put the yarn on there and I'm crocheting away and it's spinning. My yarn just comes off so nicely. Another thing that I like about yarn that is all wound up on my yarn winder is they don't roll off your lap. Last night I was working with a ball of white worsted weight yarn and it kept trying to roll off my lap. It's no problem if it falls down to the floor, but so often I'm playing yarn chicken and I need to see how much yarn I've got left. And I can't see it if it's down on the floor. I want that yarn to stay with me, not go rolling away. That was number 5. Number 6 was, it fits on a scale better. Like I said, I do play yarn chicken. I make small projects. I try to match the little skein of scrap yarn or little cake of scrap yarn to my project. So if I'm trying to weigh something to see if I have 1.5 ounces, this is going to fit on my scale very nicely. Something like this, since I have a little postal scale that's like the palm of my hand up to here, so it's just like this little area. If you're trying to put this on, you have to try to fold it and all this to get it to stay on the scale without falling off the edges. So those are the reasons why I love my yarn winder. And as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go wind this up. Okay. It's just barely noon and I've already finished one project, started another, went out and did my grocery shopping. I think that's it, but I feel like I'm making good progress today. Now that I'm back here by the computer, I need to update my to-do list and get back to a pattern test that I'm working on. Let's see. This can go right there because I finished a project last night. Actually, I finished 3 projects since yesterday's video. First was one of the things on my to-do list. This is version 2.0 of my August monster. Got to get his curly little tail there too. Ta-da! Monster, monster, ooh, ooh, ooh. I think he turned out cute. So one thing on my list for today is to get my changes that I made to the pattern as I was working it up, get those added in so I can get the pattern out for testing. Okay, that was the first thing I finished. Then I grabbed one of the skeins of this pink and purple, what kind of yarn is it? Loops and threads that I got on clearance from Michael's for $5. Grabbed one of them, and the yarn I was searching for yesterday in my video, I was like, oh, where did the brown Bernette blanket yarn? Oh, it was around here someplace. It was directly behind my chair. As soon as I got up, I saw it. So I used that and the pink and purple yarn. I made a big turtle. This is going to be an attention grabber at my show. He's so squishy. And then I told you I was working on a project from this, working both ends to make it work like worsted weight yarn. I made a donut. I want to have more donuts. Just little stuff like that. Donuts, cookies, little play food things for my fall shows. So now that the peacock is done, yep, peacock, it's right there. Still just sitting there. The peacock is done. I'm making progress on the stuff that I wanted to finish up for August. I'm almost ready to start with Mr. Yarn Challenge scrap yarn projects. Probably going to wait till Saturday. Saturday's the 31st. I'll probably try to wrap up as much as I can in August before I start with the scrap yarn. But I will link in the description the original post that has the questions for signing up, and I will link an adorable video by my friend Bonnie. She is going to do the scrap yarn challenge, and her daughters picked out her yarn for her, and she did such a cute video. You got to see it. Okay, I'm going to go play with yarn. Bye-bye.